Hi, I'm Matt Selhorst with Boat Dealer Profits, and I'm very excited to have been invited to the HanseYacht dealer meeting in Greifswald, Germany, July 2nd. Now, if you're not familiar with me, you can check me out. I've been featured in Soundings Trade Only. I've been the sales and marketing columnist at Boating Industry and a contributor for over 5 years. Or maybe you've seen one of my books, Boat Dealer Profits, our marine marketing strategies, with both are available at Amazon.com and at bookstores around the world. So the reason they invited me to the dealer meeting is I specialize in working in the boating industry, and I specialize in helping dealers sell more boats, make more money, and have more fun. And that's exactly what I want you to get out of our time together. We're going to be talking about sales and marketing and social media strategies that are working in today's environment for dealers just like you. So I thought one of the best ways to introduce myself was this video, but then I thought, you know what? What I'd like to do is share a strategy that's simple, that's easy, and it's one of our most consistently performing strategies that we work on with new dealers. So if you'll join me, I've got another video for you that I'm going to share 2 strategies that are designed to get you results, hopefully by the time we get together on July 2nd. Now, I've got a favor for you to ask before I give you those strategies. The first is I want to give you the opportunity to help me customize the content that we talk about in Greifswald. So down below this video, there's a little form that you can tell me your biggest sales and marketing challenge or your biggest social media question that you would like addressed in our time together. Now, during our time, if I don't have time or it doesn't fit directly, there's going to be time for questions and answers. I'm going to be sticking around. I'll be signing my book, which HanseYacht has agreed to give you each a free copy. Be happy to sign that. I've got a special report for you, 11 simple ways to sell more boats now and forever. That's my gift to you, so you can read it on your flights home. But if you would share that information with me, I can use that to customize our time together to create a very engaging, a fun, and most important, a profitable time together there in Greifswald. So let me get back to my desk and I'll share those 2 strategies with you. And if you would, down below, if you would add that, answer that question for me, I would very much appreciate it. So let's go ahead and take a look at those 2 strategies. So this is a very tactical piece that I'm going to share with you, and I'll walk you through it step by step. The strategy is very simple, that you have to reach out with the correct message when you're talking to your prospects. So one of the easiest ways to reach out to current boat owners, people that you've sold a boat to in the past, is to send them a quick email. You can also do this with a text message, or you can even pick up the phone and do it with a phone call. It's very similar regardless of which media you use, but it's the messaging and this question that is the most powerful. I'm going to talk about it in terms of email specifically, and then you can adjust it for text message and for phone calls, and I'll talk about that as well. The first thing you want to do is gather up all of your email for your owners, your current boat owners that have bought a boat from a year to 2 years and older. So not somebody that just bought a boat from you this season, but a year to 2 years to older. And these may be people that would consider trading their boat and moving up to something new, bigger, or different, okay? So when you do it with email, it's very simple. I'm taking the example of the HanseYacht 388. So your subject line to this group, and you would send them one at a time, is your 388. That's a subject line that everybody will open up. When you get an email about your boat, that's an email that you're going to open. It has one of the highest open rates of email that you'll ever do. Use their first name, in this example, Bob. Have you considered trading your 388? Question mark, and Matt, and then your phone number. So you would put in your customer's first name, your name, and your phone number in the closing line. And the reason this works so well for our clients all over the world and in every different segment of boats, from very high end, like the Hans Yacht lineup, all the way down to pre-owned boats. It works because you're asking a question that's very personal, as if you were asking them face to face. And what happens is they're very open to responding, and you get a very high engagement. Now, some of them may say, no, we're thinking about it next year. Well, that's great. You've just popped up to the surface an opportunity for next year. You now know at next year's boat show who you should invite to the show and put on a VIP, a very important person list, or a high probability buyers list. If you get a no, that's fine. There may be the opportunity to offer a service or some sort of accessory or gear that you may sell. And there's opportunity there as well with this type of email. And the third response is, what do you have in mind? Now, this is a great opportunity, because what happens is it starts the conversation back and forth. Now, as a salesperson, whoever's on the other side from your organization, you need to make sure that you slow down a little bit and don't jump on them and say, well, we have a great deal on this particular boat. Slow it down a little bit and say, well, we've got some great opportunities depending on the type of boat you're thinking of. What would you be most interested in? And you continue that conversation in a back and forth. Now, if you do this via a text message or via a phone call, it's the same thing. Think of it as a back and forth conversation. And after about 2 or 3 back and forths, now you know where they're at, what they're looking for, and then you invite them in to the dealership. You invite them to tour the facility. You invite them for a demo. You invite them to an event that you may have going on. But the key is, you've gone into your database of people that you have a relationship with, and you bubble up to the top of the surface the 1, 2, or 3 people that are considering making their move that you didn't even know were thinking of buying their next boat. And you can speed up the turn time, and you can speed up the time that they move into their next boat, and you get a nice clean trade of the boats that you currently have. If you don't take trades in, then you adjust it a little bit so that you can offer that boat on a consignment or a brokerage basis, however you do it in your organization, but you still have that opportunity and you bubble them up to the surface. Okay, so that's the first one. That's the lowest hanging fruit, are all of the current boat owners and service clients and storage clients that you may have, and you go to them with this type of message. Okay, the second opportunity is a very similar concept. And again, this is the simplest strategies that I can share with you that will get results, and then we can talk about it in our time together in July. So this is a strategy to revive old leads. Again, you can do it with an email, with a text message, or with a phone call, and make sure that you follow your country's canned spam laws, GDPR, all of those requirements that every country is a little bit different. But reviving old leads, there are so many people that are interested in buying a boat. And we'll talk about what I call the educational spectrum of a boat buyer and how it applies to these strategies. But here's the strategy. People that are looking to buy a boat, it may take them a couple of weeks, or it may take them a couple of years to make the decision to buy a boat. Now, the opportunity is in your database. You have people that you met at the boat show this spring, last year, 2, 3 years ago, that you met at an event, or that you brought into the dealership in some form or fashion, that kind of fell off the radar of your salespeople and are no longer getting any communication or much communication from your dealership. So we go to them with a very simple email or text message or phone call if you have the time. And the subject line of this message is simply boat. If you know it's a sailboat, prospect, you can put sailboat, but boat as a generic term gets a very high open rate from people that have interest in boat. It's just a very good subject line. It's one of the best ones that we've ever tested. Now, the message that goes to them is very simple. Bob, are you still considering a new sailboat for this summer? Now, if you're sending it this time of year, you can use that language. If you're in Australia, you may have to adjust this summer. Are you still considering a new sailboat? So you'll adjust it based on the seasonality and where you are in the world. Bob, are you still considering a new sailboat for this summer? Signed, your name and your phone number. It's, again, very simple, asking a very direct question, and it's going to generate several different type of responses. The first one, we've already purchased a boat. Okay, now you update your contact management system, your CRM, your dealer management system, you update that, and now you know where that prospect is. Maybe you offer service. Maybe you offer another product or service that you have available to them, or invite them in to continue the relationship. If they say, no, we've decided not to buy a boat. We decided not to get into boating. We're happy with the current boat we have. Then you would, again, update your system and continue on. But a handful of them, people that you didn't even know were considering a boat, will respond and again say, we're thinking about it, maybe not this summer, but maybe next summer. And now you have a prospect that you hadn't been communicating with all, that bubbles up to the surface, and now your salesperson can interact with them and again, continue the conversation. What size? Are you still thinking of a racing sailboat? Are you still considering a cruising sailboat? Have you changed to, what is it that you're looking for? And you have a few back and forth via email or text message, or if it's on the phone in a conversation, those back and forths. And then once you know a little bit more about them, then you invite them into the dealership, to an event, to a boat show, or continue them down, again, what I call the educational spectrum of a boat buyer, until you get them the opportunity to maybe build a boat, to come look at an inventory boat that you have, to go to a demo event that you have, or a regatta that you have, and invite them out to get them further immersed in the lifestyle, further down that educational spectrum. And then if it's appropriate, ask them to make a buying decision. Now, this strategy has gotten sales for clients within 3 weeks, email sent, boat delivered. Now, that's not going to happen every time, but it will give you, out of 100 leads, 100 old leads that are 6 months or older, so 6 months, a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, if you send this to at least 100 of them, you will get a couple of positive responses and people that you will be able to sell a boat to in the future. It would be amazing if somebody had an opportunity to sell a boat and get it on the books before we get together in July. That's a really quick turnaround time, but I would love to have some numbers from you dealers with the boats that you sell that we can talk about in Greifswald, and talk about how you can use that knowledge to your advantage with some of the other information that I'll share about sales and social media. So I hope you took some great notes on those strategies. You can always go back and watch that part of the video again and again until you have it right. But the only way those strategies are going to deliver results is if you implement them. So I really encourage you in the next day or two to take the time, go through your database, go through your leads, go through your customer list, and follow those step-by-step instructions that I just gave you. And remember, in our time together, I'll be glad to answer any specific questions that you have. Sign my book or the free report, 11 Ways to Sell More Boats Now and Forever. So have a safe flight to Greifswald. I look forward to seeing you there. I'm excited. The scenery, they tell me it's a beautiful place. And I really look forward to getting there, having a conversation with you, and helping you make sure that 2020 is an enormous success for you and your dealership. Thanks a lot. We'll see you in Greifswald.